So, Marcie, how's it going with you in the wonderful land of rock and roll?
Huh. Where are you at?
Me, Nova Scotia, Canada.
Nova Scotia. Really awesome. I was just doing a jingle for a casino called Casino Nova Scotia.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's not far from where I am. 2 hours.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Last week, somebody called me. A good friend of mine called me and said that they were commissioned to propose a jingle idea for their casinos. And so she hired me to sing on the demo. So I did. I don't know if it's going to go through or not, but we'll see.
Well, that's interesting.
It was fun.
Marcie, last time we talked would be in 2010, believe it or not. You're,
Wow, it's been a long time there, Jason.
yeah, it's been a little few years going by. I can't believe it. So,
Yeah, I know. Time is just flying by.
it
My
flies
goodness.
by. Can't go home. Incredible work you got going on there.
Do you like it? Have you heard it, the whole thing now?
I've heard it and I like it. I mean, what Frontier Records produces these days with any band is incredible, and you got some great
Awesome.
work on this.
Well, thank you very much. The production was Bruce and Guy and myself, um, yeah, what you're hearing is what we did.
What do you think of the way
You know,
production's going now?
for the budget involved, we feel it's a pretty good product.
When you
Gives
yeah,
gives the fans a good quality product, and I mean it. You know, it's not always true. You get what you pay for.
and with this album, is there concerts coming up in the future, or is it mostly like we make an album and that's it?
Well, we made this record, and we've known since they signed the recording contract that we would do their festival in April. So we're going over to play live and do and have it DVD'd recorded, so we can release that show as a live DVD CD.
Marcie,
And it's going to contain all the records, all the songs on our first record, to maybe a couple songs off of Worlds Collide and one from the Tormented record.
good. And like I seen, you guys got a box set coming as well.
Yeah, that was also something Frontiers wanted us to send over to them, was the rights to put together a compilation box set, if you call it, whatever, of everything we've done. But it's everything but the first record and Tormented. We couldn't get the rights from Atlantic to re-release the first record as it was, but that's why we're doing the live, so we can get those songs out there again. So.
Don't you find it sad when you cannot get the rights to stuff you've recorded yourself?
And wrote too. We
Yeah.
own the writers and the publishing to those songs too. So it's just we could, and we've talked about it, going in and just re-recording everything, and then we would own those masters. So we may still do that someday.
And Marcie, we've seen tracks on Spotify, being promoted, and posted here and there, and it seems to be doing good on Spotify. What do you think of Spotify and Tidal and all them streaming services?
Honestly, I never ever go on there. I don't. In fact, when they told us that we needed to set up a Spotify account, I was asking Bruce, like, what the hell is Spotify? Do you know? And I don't think he knew either. So it's one of these things that I just don't really spend time keeping up on. I guess it's because I'm old. Who knows?
Well,
Maybe it's just because I'm old. I don't like spending a lot of time on any more than I have to on my computer, because that's what I did for a living for so long. So
I mean, that's another thing too. Musicians these days has to, take, how much time to be on the internet to promote their music. What's
yeah,
your take on
yeah,
that,
that's very true. I mean, some people couldn't live without Facebook. Myself, I could get along very fine without it. I just got so many other things I'd rather be doing in real life.
Well, yes, because that's the other thing people tend to forget is there is a real life out there.
Yeah, I mean the kids. I I feel sorry for them. So many of the kids, like my nephew, for instance. I mean, he just grew up from the day I first met him. He was old enough to hold a little Game Boy in his hand. That's what he had. Had his Game Boy in his nose, plastered to the screen. So a lot of these kids didn't grow up playing outside and inventing games to do, or climbing trees, or doing what I did when I was a kid.
Now, Marcie, artwork on this Unruly Child album cover, where did the old concept come from?
Um, I think that may have been a proposal package that Guy may have suggested, but I'm not certain on that. I know Guy was putting together some ideas and sending them, but I don't know if that's actually came from Guy or the label. I don't really know.
You can maybe tell,
So much of that I don't get involved in anymore.
Okay, but you can maybe mention, the members of the band that is playing on it. Seeing that it's the original ones from the first album.
Oh yeah. We have Bruce Gowdy on guitars, and Guy Allison on the keyboards and background vocals, and Larry Antonino on some background vocals and bass, and Jay Shellen, great Jay Shellen on drums, and I think he even may have done some background vocals too with us. So, but they're all the guys that we started out with, and I feel very fortunate to have such a relationship with these people. It's like our own family. We're so close. We just, we pick up right where we left off every time. We know each other so well now that it's just so familiar, and we don't have any sociopaths in the group, so we all just kind of cling together and enjoy each other's company.
Awesome. And these guys also have, certain backgrounds in music from what I've seen in the biography, and that's great too, to bring their fans along the whole.
Yep. Like Jay just started going out with Yes here recently. And before that, he'd been in a show with John Payne, I think it is.
John Payne's Asia.
Yeah, Asia. He put together a show in Vegas called Raiding the Rock Vault, which was a very successful show that was playing in a major casino room for almost like 2.5 years maybe. So that kept Jay pretty busy 4 or 5 nights a week.
So Marcie, what you've been up to since 2010 to 2017? We haven't seen you much.
I went back. I've always had my job since 1994 actually. My job, my chosen career path at that point was banking and mortgage banking specifically. And I worked for a major banking conglomerate for the last 15 years, actually 20 years, in the mortgage business. And that's what I did 5 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week, more than 8 hours, almost 10 hours a day for the last 20 years. So so I was doing that, and that takes up, living alone and having a house and a dog. I mean, that takes up a lot of my time, and what little time I did have to myself, I was dead tired. So, but we managed to get out 2 records, actually 3 now, because it had been in 2010 we came out with Worlds Collide, and then we did Down the Rabbit Hole, which was our own private venture, and now the new record, Can't Go Home with Frontiers. So, but since then I've retired. I was kind of forced to retire because I'm now physically disabled. I'm permanently physically disabled, so I no longer can work like that any longer. So in that capacity,
Okay.
so I retired about 10 years earlier than I had planned on it. So that kind of put a financial pinch on me a little bit, but I've got things stabilized now, so I'm on a budget, so I can live and survive.
So it's not
And
bad.
get
You're living
along.
comfortably a little bit, and it's going good.
Yeah, I mean I'm still managed to keep my house,
Okay.
and I still got my dog, my sweet little doggy. So we're doing good.
Well, you gotta love those doggies. They're nice to have around.
Absolutely, he's my little family member. Keeps me company.
Marcy Free, I wish you so much luck and success with this album. And are you guys gonna make a future promo video going on with this?
Well, we're certainly under contract to do such, but we just
Okay.
haven't heard from the label on their decision about that at this particular time. I think what's going to go on is we're going to go forward and do that show for them, and they're going to we're going to put out that product of the live performance, and then we'll kind of see where we stand at that point
Well, that's gonna
as
be
to
good.
whether or not we're going to go forward with an actual video of one of our pieces, one of our songs. So at this point, I can't announce anything, but
Hmm.
we'll see.
Well,
We're
hope to
certainly
see
under
something.
contract to do something like that, so we'll see.
Well, that is good news. Something to look
Yep,
forward to.
absolutely.
Well, Marcy Free,
Absolutely.
been a good pleasure talking to you again since 2010.
Thank you, Jason. It's always nice to talk with you again.
Well, thank you very much, and look forward to talking to you again when the next promos come
Well, you
around.
have a wonderful day, and keep on rocking, buddy.
You as well. Have a good one.
All right, take care.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.